So next up we have the Open Source Use in the Arts Award, and this award will be presented by the category judge Bronwyn Holloway-Smith. Bronwyn is an investigative artist and researcher based in Wellington. She in fact won this award in both 2010 and 2012, so consequently had to be made into a judge. Recently she exhibited with the City Gallery of Wellington and had her book Wanted published by Mass University Press. You can, I think, read more in the program. So welcome back to the stage, Bronwyn, to present this award.
Tēnā koutou katoa. I'm sure it's not news to any of you here tonight that open source is more about just software, about more than just software. It's a philosophy, an ethical framework, a culture. Funnily enough, reinventing the wheel doesn't tend to lead to human development and flourishing, and restrictions on access can drive us to spend time rehashing problems that have already been solved. Open source thinking, often licensed under Creative Commons, promotes the opening up and freeing of ideas and resources so that they're accessible to all. It's a kind of generosity and efficiency that invests trust and confidence in the people around us. This category is a little bit different to the others. These finalists are not all necessarily software-based, but they demonstrate ways in which open source culture is contributing to growing the intellectual commons. And the nominees are Matt McKeag for his contribution to open source music tools and performance through Loop.js. Loop.js is a fully open source looper, modular synth and sampler designed for improvisation and live performance. It's a homegrown example of how code and creativity can be combined in a unique open source-based musical performance that has been live tested at local and international events, including during Matt's recent tour of Europe. Let's hear it from Matt McKeag and Loup Trop. And next, the Wellington Independent Arts Trust for Urban Dream Brokerage. For the last 5 years, the Urban Dream Brokerage has provided a physical open sourcing service of vacant city sites, licensing and facilitating spaces for 61 art and community projects in Wellington, 26 projects in Dunedin, 12 in Porirua, and 6 in Masterton. The UDB provided tools and resources that gave reassurance to property owners about the safe care of their properties while freeing up the city to those who wouldn't otherwise gain access to CBD retail and office sites. This is a significant application of open source philosophy in physical space, making closed resources open and facilitating their open usage. The scale of this project has had ongoing ripple effects in the communities it has operated in. Great stuff, guys. And the final nominee is the Wellington Irish Sessions for preserving and opening traditional Irish music. Irish traditional music is community-based music, with a large repertoire of tunes that each player learns. It's typically played in sessions in public venues. The Wellington Irish Session has built a website of resources for learning Irish music that provides a basis for their weekly sessions, which run from 7:30 p.m. every Tuesday at the Welsh Dragon Bar. And I'd like to give a shout out to Ted and co for coming here instead of going to their session tonight. Kia ora for that. Many of the resources on their website are licensed under Creative Commons, and the framework has been made available under an open source license. The project itself relies on using open source technology, and the website uses the W3C web audio standard. And it's so cool that I want to come along and hear you play and maybe join in with my very rusty violin skills, so thank you. And the winner is the Wellington Independent Arts Trust for the Urban Dream Brokerage.
Tēnā koutou katoa, te whānau. It's beautiful to be here. What are a whole lot of space brokers doing at an Open Source Awards? As Bronwyn said, we've been really influenced by the philosophy and principles of open source thinking, and we have utilised a lot of open source software, mostly Lumio, to make decisions. So that's allowed us very much to access the city's spaces in a much more efficient way than would have ever been possible had we been trying to do this manually. So we really believe in open sourcing the city. Why not use spaces for other people's benefit when the property market's down? We're currently in a bit of a lull period with Wellington because Wellington is chocker and the earthquakes have taken out a lot of buildings. But Dunedin is still thriving. And other places around the world are looking at our model, and we're currently developing an open source piece with some Belgian open space brokers as well, to share the technology with the world. But I just wanted to say thanks to all the wonderful projects that have taken over spaces in the city in the last 5 years. Also, obviously, to the property owners, to our amazing trust, the Wellington Independent Arts Trust, with Madam Chair Gayleen Preston and Jan Beringer supporting us for the last 9 years and all the projects we've done. And yeah, to the City of Wellington, which has actually supported our work as a not-for-profit trust all this time. So well done and keep going.